Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's a little breezy, so hopefully you can hear me. I got my back to the wind, try and help a little bit. But today we're going to be going over my rotary cars and then also what the condition is of the two engines that came with this car. This is a RX-8 I bought about 2 weeks ago. It came with two engines, both Renesis. So they were, unfortunately, they were both locked up, which I was looking forward to not having anything locked up. But they were both locked up. So we brought them home and we tore them down, and they're clean now. So we can go over what we're going to use, what we're going to buy new, and we're going to see if we can make one good Renesis RX-8 engine from two bad ones and try and reuse as much as we can. I've gone through an extensive detailed clean, so everything that I'm going to use from the old motors is all shiny and clean. We're going to try not to spend a whole lot of money. Obviously, if you've seen the title of the channel, that's kind of what we're going for here. I don't have a lot of big budget stuff for my projects. I throw it together, get it running, enjoy it, and it is what it is. I love doing it. It's really fun. So we're going to do this. We'll update on the RX-8 when we go inside, but as far as the RX-7, it is just a beautiful car. It's my second white FC I've had. So this is my 1986 Mazda RX-7 normal GSL base model, I believe. I bought it from a guy in LA. It was sitting on his side yard for about 8 to 10 years. And the story goes as he purchased it from a gentleman in Las Vegas, and he drove it back here and tried to smog it, and it didn't pass smog. So he parked it and he bought himself a nice Miata. But it's all complete, which is pretty impressive. It's got a lot of the stuff here, including all the engine parts in the back, because the engine's in my house currently. But it's got nice door cards on it. This is the only damage really that I've seen, aside from no center console cover, which isn't a big deal. We can figure that out. And it's got a little bit of rust on the top here, and it's got a little bit of rust on the hatch, and it had a little bit here. It was sitting under a tree, and then they cut the tree down a little bit after that. But yeah, it's a beautiful car. It's a salvage title. I have my suspicions because I was trying to work on the engine, and everything that I've come across says the engine and the wiring is from an 88. That, and it's a red car underneath. So I think the guy threw two cars together in Vegas and sold it. And yeah, that engine was not pretty inside. It was filled with a lot of stuff in the water passageways, but it's all clean now and it's ready. We'll take a look at it in a minute, but it's a great car. I'd love to get it on the road. I want to get it as a stock nice car like this and basically dial it out and then get a clean chassis that's not a salvage title that I can work with. This is the RX-8. Bought this a couple weeks ago, like I said. It's got a clean interior as well. It's a manual because I don't buy automatic sports cars. Pretty nice. I like it. The only thing I can see is it's got a cracked dash. So, but I'm not complaining. It's got the backwards doors, which is pretty cool. And if we come around to here, we can see it has no engine because that's also in my house. So it's a pretty good car. I like it. It came with a lot of stuff, minus like the front bumper and the exhaust, which for the deal, it was too good. Just like that one and just like this one, which leads me on to this one. This is oh, that's a 2004, by the way. So it's the first generation or series of that thing, whatever. No one cares about RX-8 as much, unfortunately. This is the first generation FB. This is a 1982. Scored this one. This was local, sitting in a desert for, well, since 2006 is the last time it was tagged. And I believe it's someone's race car because the smog pump's deleted, the AC's deleted, the interior has been stripped. It's got like sheet metal door cards on there, and it's got a couple switches on the center console. But if we come over here, first of all, the vacuum rat's nest has been replaced by an actual rat's nest. So that's going to have to be addressed, but it's gone. So someone did something. This was someone's race car. It turns over by hand, which is a good sign. I can't wait to get it in the house and open it up, look at how the inside looks, and reseal it, put it back together. But this is the interior. This one was worth the price tag. But I need your guys' opinion. I need help with this one. Do I get this running the way it is, clean it up, heavy detail obviously, get it running the way it is because it doesn't have a title. The guy passed away, the property was sold, I purchased it just like that. Get it running the way it is and have it as a track car, or do I just use the drivetrain for something? Because I came across the Formula Mazda cars and those are pretty cool. I would like to have a mini Indy car, and this would be perfect. I can make it work. Rear axle, transmission, engine. I've got a little frame in the back, but I would prefer to start from scratch. Or now hear me out. Do I make my golf cart a 12A powered golf cart with reverse? Because reverse comes in really handy when you're trying to do stuff around the yard. But basically what we would do is strip everything down and put the 12A right there. I mean, normal shifter, and yeah, there's a lot of room here. Not only that, but this is like some leaf spring suspension up front. And I've got this laying in the backyard here. This is from some quad or dune buggy, something. I'm not sure. It's got brakes on it, which is good, which is what I need. And that would probably go on the front of that with the 12A engine in the back, or with the 12A engine between that, like a normal car setup, basically. I also have this thing. This is my project. It's got a 600 GSXR street bike engine in the back and swing arm, and it's got a Mazda Miata front suspension and a single-seater Sandwell frame. Do I put the 12A behind the seat with the 5-speed and the transmission, or the 5-speed transmission and the rear axle, and then basically shorten the drivetrain as much as possible, have a 6-inch drive shaft, and sit in front of the engine? I mean, I need your guys' help here. I can't decide. I want to make a genuine budget build Indy car with my rotary engine and either this thing or the golf cart. I need you guys to comment down below, please, because this is bugging me. I can't bring myself to cut up a perfectly clean body first generation RX-7. I can strip it and let it sit in the back for whoever wants it in the future or any future projects I have, but it's such a clean car. I have another channel where I had one of these and the house burned down and the car was up against it and the car's gone, so I got rid of the car. But it would be nice to have another one, right? It's always nice to have another one. But let's take a break from the update on this and let's go inside and look at the engines. If we come in here to my clean, dirty, organized rotary workshop, this is basically the engine that came out of the RX-8. These are the irons, these are the housings. I've got the rotors up here. One of those engines was a good engine and the other engine was severely rusted and pretty bad. So I made a clearancing tool out of one of the rotors. I had a stuck seal, and you can see how pitted it is, if it ever focuses. But yeah. So I got my RX-7, RX-8. This is all my hardware. I cleaned all my hardware. Yeah, everything's clean. Bearings, gears. I've got all my side seals. I have terrible lighting in this house, so excuse me for that. I managed to get a set of Apex Seal springs, and I put all of them together and picked out the ones that had the most spring in them. There were a couple flat ones, so I put those aside. But if we come over here, I've got my list of things. We need corner seal springs, apex seals, an O-ring kit, and a gasket kit. So that's, you know, I was planning on using the apex seals from both of the engines and making one good engine, but the core engine I got with the car is an automatic. This is an automatic. And the way I know that is because it came with a counterweight on the back of the crank, and also it's got a different iron on it. But if you look, let's bring it over here in the light. Can you see the thickness in that? Those are different thicknesses, both RX-8 apex seals. Different width, I guess you would say. But that means I can't use the same seals because I'm not going to use two different sizes. And even though they look decent condition, I'm going to just get new ones. So that's where we're at with that. These are the rotors. Rotors cleaned up pretty nice, I'd say. So I've been through 3 or 4 rounds of cleaning with rust, evapo rust, and I don't know, that whatever that stuff is. Yeah, a lot of work, really dirty. The housings on that core engine were both bad. They have pretty bad pitting. These ones, not so bad. There's a little bit of chrome flake and a little bit of chattering on some of the top side, but we are going to get a spindle sander. We're going to get a rotary spindle sander for woodworking, and we're going to resurface these lightly and try and get them a little bit better. And as far as the irons, the only thing I've seen on the irons is a little bit of step wear on this side, and it's on pretty much everywhere on the same exact spot. So I'm okay with that. It's coming together. It's pretty clean. Don't worry about that, and don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. Okay? Let's not do that. Let's go over to the RX-7 shelf. This is the RX-7 shelf. I keep them separate so I know what's what, and it's just my OCD. Don't mind that. That's just for safekeeping. Got my good irons. Everything's clean. Everything's ready to go. Basically, I got that RX-7 engine, and I brought it inside and tore it down. Center iron, no bueno. One of the water jacket seals was broken, so I had to replace that. Got a new one from a man in LA. Pretty good. Shout out to Tony. Yeah, had to get new housings too. Housings are pretty bad, so he had some used housings, pretty good condition. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to resurface them. I don't know if that's the good one I'm using. I got a few of them, but yeah. Try and keep stuff organized. Try and keep stuff clean. Also, for the RX-7 build, one of the little things I'm doing, aside from adding more dowel pins, is I'm changing over to RX-7 FB tension rod bolts. They're a little bit thicker. They don't, not that I'm worried about it, but it's just a peace of mind. See, the one on the right is a FC, the one on the left is a FD. So the FD ones don't taper down. And it's just a little more oomph, you know? Do you know what I'm saying, Tony? With LC signs? Anyway, guys, that's it. Probably gonna close it out here. So an update on what the cars are for, I guess. It'd be nice to get it running as an extra car to jump in it, go have fun, go pick up car parts, go to eat, go do something. The RX-7, it would be nice to have it as a nice, clean, stock 86 RX-7 I can drive to car shows and stuff like that. Get it really dialed into what I want it to, and then find a clean chassis and start building it from the ground up. Get rid of all the sound deadening, throw a cage in there for safety, you know, safety. Paint it and just make my not so nice stuff nice. That, I need your help. I'm genuinely confused. It would be nice to get it running, but the reason my last FB sat was because I was going into a turn and there was no steering. It was gone. It wasn't there. And so the ass end slid out. Like mid-turn, the steering, there was no response. So the ass end slid out, and that was it. I stripped it, took the 2J out of it, put it up against the house because I was gonna keep working on it, and that was it. So I still have the 2J and the conversion kit and all that. That's on my other channel, O'Neill's Garage. If you want to go check that out, I'll put the link down and below. But do I get it running the way it is, have it as a fun beater around here? Because I can tow stuff and drive to the park and go get something to, I don't know. I can't do anything. It doesn't have a title. Yeah. We've got 3 options with this car. Comment down below. Leave it the way it is. On property only, Mexico only car. Option B. Make it into, well, pull the drivetrain, put the shell in back for some future use, and make it into a low budget build formula Mazda formula car. Rear engine, well, I guess mid-engine, whatever. Or do we put it in the golf cart and have a really fun golf cart with reverse? Oh my gosh. It's endless. Like, comment, subscribe down below. It's gonna sit because I don't want to touch it until I got to. Let me know, guys. Thanks.